2025 is here and you're still using 2015 software that's completely already obsolete. The agents who are implementing this complete tech stack that I'm about to show you in the next 90 days will dominate their market that they're currently in. The ones who don't won't survive in the long term. So here's your complete roadmap to the 2025 complete tech stack for insurance agents. So first, let's talk about what the real problem is. So what's killing most agencies here in 2025 is that the AMS does not talk to your CRM. Your phone system isn't logging calls into your AMS or your CRM automatically. You have an email platform that's meant to be sending out marketing, but it's not targeting anybody. It doesn't even know what policies your customers actually have. Your website leads disappear because nothing even connects to your follow-up systems. So that might be somebody might fill out a contact us form on your website and all you do is just get a simple email about it, but if you accidentally miss the email, it's gone. It's not connecting to your AMS or your CRM system in any which way. But here's the bigger problem. While you're spending 15 to 20 hours per week troubleshooting why your AMS stopped syncing or why your phone system isn't creating tasks or updating compliance requirements for the third time just in this past quarter, your competitors are writing business and not worrying about all those BS tasks. The technology landscape changes so fast that by the time you get one integration working, 3 others have broken. This is why successful agencies partner with companies like RevBox, because trying to manage this complexity alone isn't just overwhelming, it's completely impossible. And so that's exactly what we're going to solve for you today and try and help you out with. And here I'm going to show you the complete integrated system that eliminates those headaches and gets you back to focusing on what you do best, growing your agency. So here we have 3 sections of the integrated system solution that we'll go over in this video. First up, we have our foundation layer, the core systems that actually matter. So we have 5 core systems here that everything builds off of and on. Get these wrong and your entire operation crumbles. So number 1 we're going to go into is your AMS system. The current AMS systems that I recommend in 2025 is going to be Hawksoft, Momentum, or AMS 360. These are policy administration backbones. Think of the AMS system as being the back-end support and back-end reporting capabilities. So the reason why these systems usually cost around $99 to $300 per user for monthly for an agency. But here's what most agencies miss. Your AMS should automatically sync data to your CRM and other systems out there and should help you out with automating out those workflows. If you're manually updating policy information in multiple places, you're bleeding efficiency. And so here I recommend Hawksoft, Momentum, and AMS 360 because number 1, Hawksoft and Momentum are upgrading nonstop. Hawksoft has by far the best customer support out of any AMS system that's out there. Momentum right now has come out of the blue with the upgrades that no other AMS system is doing. This includes things like AI automation and other workflows that integrate so well with other systems. AMS 360 I choose because it's by far the best older version of a system that's really still killing it, and it still gives a ton of impact and value for what you really get. But you'll see here that the cost range will be around that $99 to $300 a month per user. Next up, we have the CRM. So here, this is something that agencies will think that the AMS is a CRM. The CRM is your client command center. This is where you keep your communications in one spot, that everything automations wise get ran through, and you get to see what is actually happening with each individual client and prospect and be able to report on those currently. Sadly, in 2025 in the property and casualty space, you do need both systems. An AMS never does a good enough job for a CRM, and a CRM never does a good enough job for an AMS system. You need both. Cross our fingers that within the next 3 to 5 years, this is going to change up, but currently, just to get Ivan's downloads has been such a pain in the ass for these systems out there that they really need to have separate systems for that. They're slowly solving this issue, and this will slowly go away, and hopefully sooner or later these will be combined. But for now, this is what you have to do as an agent. And so this system is built specifically for insurance agencies that make integration seamless for communications. And so you'll see a lot more of the CRMs out there like AgencyZoom or InsuredMine that integrate way better than most other AMS systems do. There are exceptions to this rule, but majority of the AMS systems, this is true. And so I primarily recommend AgencyZoom because it is simple to use, it's easy to set up, and even if somebody's not really tech focused, they can understand what's going on inside the system without getting overwhelmed. And they're also very inexpensive. I mean, 7 users for just $199 a month it's basically nothing if you're growing an agency and want to hire on a bunch of producers that just get paid on a production focus. You can add them without almost any extra cost. Secondary option, InsuredMine. InsuredMine can get pretty advanced on what's out there for automation and everything like that. The reason why I don't choose InsuredMine over AgencyZoom because it is more advanced, it is a little bit more complicated. Most agency owners actually have more issues with it than benefits by using it. And then secondarily, it's $109 per user. So if you have more than 2 users on there, the cost is already higher than AgencyZoom. And that's a really big problem, but it is a very close second. The key here is, again, to integrate out your phone calls, your emails, and policy changes, and those should be automatically logged here so you can see what's going on with clients. It should be the single source of truth for every client relationship. That goes into our third system, which is really important and key, is your phone system. Your phone system is your communication lifeline. Everybody needs to have it. You don't just want to have somebody using their cell phones for E&O purposes, and then for your phone system is your communication lifeline. I recommend either RingCentral or Lightspeed for your phone system. And the reason why it's so important to have a phone system versus just using your cell phone is for E&O reasons. Everybody knows somebody, if they've been in the insurance game long enough, that a client has tried to sue you or tries to call problems saying that you didn't try to do X, Y, or Z. And having that phone system integration and having those calls automatically log into your CRM, whether it be InsuredMine or AgencyZoom, helps you save hours and hours of time of needing to write notes about the customer because it's automatically writing the notes for you. But then also, it's also helpful because then if somebody ever does try to sue you or say that you did something wrong or say an employee does something wrong, you can see the call logs and the text logs and have that automatically be put into your CRM. So again, I recommend RingCentral or Lightspeed. There's reasons why I recommend these two. RingCentral by far has superior technology to anybody else that integrates with any of the insurance solutions out there. RingCentral takes it like by far, not even close. But their customer service really sucks in 2025. That's the honest truth. That's where Lightspeed, it's very close in technological advancement like RingCentral has, but it's still not there to the RingCentral level. And so, but the customer support from Lightspeed is 10 times better. I've talked to hundreds of agencies using both systems, and while RingCentral does really kill it in some of its capabilities at the higher end, if you're going to spend that extra cash, if you do have any problems with RingCentral's system, you're basically screwed for a little bit of time because they just don't have that good of customer support. While Lightspeed definitely doesn't have as good of integrations or technology improvements that RingCentral does because it's just a smaller company, but its customer support is above and beyond. And if you're just trying to have a simple phone system that's out there that doesn't cost you that much money, I always then suggest NerdPhone or Bridge as the next runners up after that. And so those are some kind of options there. That's totally possible. And again, the big point of the phone system that you should be looking at in 2025 is, can it auto log my calls? Can it automatically summarize my calls that I'm having and then put it into my CRM without any extra effort? And what you'll see is that a lot of these other systems out here, like EasyLinks, for example, currently, you can maybe connect RingCentral to EasyLink's note system via Zapier, but there's no integration in there for most phone systems or most AMS systems. While if you do that with like an AgencyZoom and RingCentral or an AgencyZoom and Lightspeed, it automatically just puts it in there for you without you needing to do all this extra mumbo jumbo and working with a consultant like me just to set up everything. It's completely absurd what's out there compared to what you can actually get for the value that's out there. And so if you miss this connection, literally 30% on average, 30% of notes that should have been taken are usually not taken, or phone calls that were made is wasted, or just time in general is wasted. I've literally implemented this with agencies and they've saved 20 hours of extra work per every 10 to 20 hours of extra work per month per staff member, because think of how much less work they have to do just to have a call because it's automatically logging for them. Well, hey, Now I could just make more calls and just focus in on what actually matters. Next up, we have the info gathering and bookings page. So we have the bookings page will start off either Calendly or Microsoft Bookings. Microsoft Bookings really upgraded their systems in the past 6 months to actually be pretty close to Calendly. So most agencies have Office 365. And if you have Office 365, you'll get Microsoft Bookings. And so you could basically set up your own version of Calendly for 100% free if you're already using Office 365. This is something that I think a lot of agents do not touch upon, and I think that you really need to look at if you're an agent in 2025 of better calendar and bookings opportunities. But maybe we could just save some money with Microsoft Bookings and connect that to our other apps via Zapier or something else of the sort. Calendly, the paid version is always going to be amazing. It's going to help out a ton of agents. And if you're setting up your CRM correctly to send out emails and texts automatically without any extra work, it will actually help you save a ton of time with communicating with your clients. A lot of agents go, oh, but bookings don't work for me. Those bookings pages don't work. But the reality of it is, I've never seen a single case where a bookings page didn't work if you had automated emails inside of your sales process or your onboarding process or anything else of the sort, because people actually use it if you continue to contact them about it. Then we go into the information gathering. And so when you're looking at information gathering, this is something that can also replace a bookings page in general. And we have a few different data collection systems that you can look at. We actually have a video that I'll put in the link below. But just to quickly go over some systems that might be good for you. This could be Risk Advisor, Salt, Canopy Connect, Wonderwrite. There is just regular Jot forms and Gravity forms that are out there. Have some type of information gathering system out there that can then integrate with your AMS or your CRM and have data automatically flow into there so that you have less worries on your website, on contacting people, and so on and so forth. This is what makes your process easier for your client as well. It's not just about you, but the client also needs extra options if they want to save time, not needing to go emails back and forth 20 times or needing to answer a phone call for 30, 40 minutes with you. This can really help them save a ton of time as one of these options. All right, number 5 here, we have rating systems. And so here's the harsh truth that's out there is rating systems are completely outdated and kind of trash in 2025. I don't recommend you get any rater system that's currently out there in 2025. They all seem to have been broken after inflation hit in 2021-ish, and most carriers, depending on your state, really does break down a ton. And as we all know, they're not bindable rates at all. So these are not bindable rates that are there's not even a point of using them. And in most cases, unless you already have 10 carriers in the same market. And if you have 10 carriers in the same market, then get a rater system, because it'll save you at least 5 of the carriers will be brought out, and those will be pretty accurate numbers. But then still, like the top 3 to 5 carriers, you still got to go in the rater systems to go quote. So these are very useless in 2025, in my opinion. They might change, and there is exceptions. So as I put here, there's exceptions by state. These exceptions could be like Florida. Some carriers demand that you do go through a rater system, or like in California, they'll demand it, or whatever else. Or if you're using a brokerage and you need to have a specific rater system, that's the exceptions to the rule. Not the rule itself, but the exceptions to them. And if you do have to use one, just because of the AMS systems, I would recommend PL Rater. I do actually think EasyLink's Rater is slightly better than PL Rater, looks-wise, and what it can actually do for the agents. But PL Rater integrates with the other systems that we've talked about so far. So that's why we talk about PL Rater here as an option. If you have to use one, I would recommend PL Rater if you're using the AMS and CRMs that I recommended. So here's the foundation rule. These core systems must talk to each other seamlessly. You should be not needing to re-enter information over and over and over into all these different systems, or else your complete foundation is broken and everything built on top will take you just extra time. It'll just be exhaustion, and your team will actually hate your system more than actually benefiting you. And that's the biggest problem that I see most agencies have. You want to have this foundation really work for them instead of the opposite. You really just want to have them actually work with you in general when working on this. Okay, so now we just built out the foundation, went through your AMS system, and we chose either Hawksoft or Momentum or AMS 360. Then we went into the CRM and we said, hey, do we want InsuredMine or AgencyZoom out there? Then we went through and talked about your phone system, and we chose a phone system, whether it be Lightspeed or RingCentral are the two main options. And last but not least, we have the lead capturing forms / bookings pages that you could need. Depends on your vibe and how you want to build out your agency. This is all the foundations. Now we're going to go into that secondary systems to see what we can do to help out your agency. So here's the 5 systems that are in the secondary side of things. Number 1 being the email marketing systems. So there's really 2 approaches that you can go down with email marketing. You could either just go with what's built into your CRM. So this would be the AgencyZoom or InsuredMine options. And these are going to be definitely better for sales related approaches where you're trying to work on sales, process oriented things, workflow oriented operations. Some CRMs like InsuredMine or AgencyZoom do also have the capabilities to have emails going out for marketing as well, but usually they don't do as good of a job as an actual email marketing system. So this is where that you have your own dedicated marketing platform. These could be things like MailChimp, Agency Revolution Fuse, Constant Contact, etc., etc. And these can really help out for general emails going out to your customer base and making sure that you're having marketing done, not just sales marketing. And so this could be like a newsletter, happy birthday emails. This could be for specific events that you're going to or running it yourself. This could be really targeted differently compared to how you're doing it with your sales campaigns. Think of like the CRM built in would be like segmenting out your clientele, setting up like cross-selling campaigns and specific workflow processes, while that dedicated marketing could again be those campaigns, everything else for newsletters and events and everything else. Now that we've talked about that, let's go into your e-signature tool. Really, this just depends which system that you have for your AMS. That's the only one I really recommend because you just want it to integrate over all else. Just make sure it works out well. 9 times out of 10, if you're watching this video and you've been an agent that's $800,000 or above, you have an e-sign platform. Just use the one that the AMS recommends. Sadly, there are better ones out there than most insurance systems have. Like I personally use PandaDoc, which I feel has the best automation capabilities that are out there, and I really do love using PandaDoc. But most systems in the insurance game just don't work with PandaDoc. So here's the list right here. Momentum has the most amount of options here for e-sign options if you want to look at them as well. Just some food for thought. Then we have the digital client experience. So depending on who you have for your AMS system, some AMS systems actually might include this. This could go into Glovebox, Insurance Agent app, your actual AMS system, or it could just be on your website. And so depending on the systems out there, I've seen EasyLinks has a pretty decent client portal that's out there, for example, that you can utilize. And there's definitely options to do this as well. And so setting up this client portal to be able for the clients to request things for you, to get their deck pages, if necessary, ID cards, or whatever else that they may need, making it easier for that client communication can happen. Another website recommendation, if you're trying to build out your website and help integrate this, you could set up this with Brightfire. And there's even some possibilities here, and so this is some food for thought. There is service platforms that are out there that you can then integrate with your Jot forms or Gravity forms on your website, or anything else for service request management. This is also possible with, for example, AgencyZoom to create service requests on your website to then give the client the option to make requests to you very easily. And then it just comes on in, it tells you what they need. You can then go ahead and work on it for them as soon as possible and contact them as fastly as possible as well. These are a couple different options that you could do here to help out with the digital client experience, whether it be on an app or a website. Really start to advance this as a secondary option once you've built out that foundation to help out your clients and yourself's communication. Now that we're going into the tertiary systems, the third systems that are really necessary to build out in 2025, this is where we get into unfair advantages, where agents will go, how does somebody just even go this fast? How are other agencies growing as fast as they are? This is where it really starts to come into key play. This is where advanced automation is set up. It's where we're building out your productivity. We're understanding the intelligence of your agency to boost your bonuses and profit sharing, and we're really enhancing that customer experience. So number 1 is you need to get an advanced automation tool. These are platforms like Zapier, Make, or N8N. I really think that they have incredible possibilities for your agency. And so I recommend Zapier for majority of agents. It's very simple. Even if you're not knowing how to code or do anything fancy with things, you can set up a lot of things very simply through Zapier. Zapier is a little bit costly in the long term, but I think for a starter, I think it's an amazing platform to start off with if you're an insurance agent and trying to own everything. And so here's where most agencies really fail is they have good individual systems but terrible integrations between the systems. And so these platforms really let your foundational systems communicate flawlessly. Your secondary systems enhance foundation capabilities, and tertiary systems provide intelligence and competitive advantage. Imagine this, a policy binds in your AMS, which automatically updates you in your CRM, sends a welcome email sequence, creates a cross-sell opportunity based on coverage gaps, schedules renewal reminders 90 days out, adds the client to your referral campaign, and notifies your team. And then not even to mention, after all that's done from those first couple systems, Zapier then takes that information, messages you on Slack to let you know, adds them to your MailChimp to get them in the marketing campaigns where you want them to be targeted in different ways. Then it goes ahead and sends you out to all these other apps so that you don't have to put in any of the extra data that you would have had to previously. And furthermore, if you want to get really fancy with it, what's really possible in here with Zapier Maker and N8N is being able to just use AI to create unique emails to somebody, to go ahead and create unique tasks for each individual, to go ahead and do research online about the business that you're trying to write in your sales process. You can do so many things that are out there. It's really insane what's really possible nowadays. And so you're able to help, add risk profiles to your Wonderwrite automatically without any extra work, and connecting data from your job form over to the CRM without any extra time or wasted of any sort. So here's where we go into some team productivity and communication tools. This is where I usually recommend two tools here. Number one, I always recommend Slack. So the nice thing about Slack is that when you're setting up your team and you're starting to grow out this agency, you'll have the ability to set up automations with Slack and specific channels to communicate on specific things. So Slack really does help your agency so that if somebody puts in a service request in your website or has a contact us form, you could have your sales team or your service team get message all in one place to say, hey, this person said blah, 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 blah. Here's the service request. Go click on the link so you can work on it, or even help you get the information that you need and upload it to Slack by itself. So you can really have that context-based channels, as well as, again, just like with the phone systems, it can really help with your E&O exposure, where if somebody messes up, you can look at the past messages and see who really messed up and where in the process needs to be refined maybe a little bit better, whether it be training or it's the actual thing itself. Then we have Asana on the right-hand side here. Really, I would recommend Asana for project management, service requests, and task management. The reason why I actually recommend Asana over sometimes even AgencyZoom or InsuredMine for service request management is because it has so many automation capabilities via Zapier, N8N, or Make. So you can really do almost anything you want to in Asana with whatever process that you want to have. I mean, there's so many capabilities nowadays in 2025 that's starting to become possible that wasn't just possible last year. And so you can really look into this a little bit further, and we can, and if you're interested, contact me and we could definitely talk more about it and get into the nitty-gritty. Then next up, we have the advanced analytics and trying to help out your business intelligence. And so really depends on which suite you're using. Are you using either Google Suite or Office 365? And that's where Power BI or Looker Studio really comes in to help out your business intelligence a ton. You want to use all of these different data sources that are definitely possible. And here's some key insights that you want to find out is how much does a customer really cost to acquire them versus how much is their actual lifetime value. Actual lifetime value. Usually when you get the information from carriers and others out there, it becomes very diluted data and it's not really usable. So being able to pull out of your own AMS what happens with your clientele and everything else can really benefit you here to actually be able to understand how much can I actually spend on a client, how much money do I make on a client over their lifetime, and how can I improve the renewal probabilities and be able to cross-sell better. And so that's some things that you could be able to report on here to help out your agency a ton. And so now we're going to go into the client experience enhancements. Here's some things that are possible and that you can integrate out with your CRM and AMS system. There's automated surveys that can be done. These could be things like NPS scores or just having a regular survey going out, which I know that like most CRMs have some capabilities of that. Or just straight up asking for reviews and getting reviews on Google as soon as possible and being able to protect your Google reviews as much as possible as well. So some of these systems may be like Lyft Local, or AgencyZoom has a review management system as well inside of its system. And then last but not least, there's a referral automation and referral management system. These would be things like Partner Stack out there, or you could set yourself up one through Asana, and there's other systems out there that could really help you to get better referral partners or just referrals from your clientele. This would be something like Tremendous, where you could give them a gift card or give them the option to donate to a specific type of charity that you support. And this can really help out a ton to improve your client's experience with you, because then they could see you as more part of the community, more helping out each other, and growing as being part of the community as well. So here are the 4 critical principles that will determine your success with this tech stack. And so always, always, always look at your foundation first and really look at how your core systems are actually integrating with each other, because if these core systems do not work, it's basically a waste of time. And so really focus in on that, and they should, I've seen agencies waste tens, if not 50s to $100,000 a year just trying to build off of a broken foundation that just won't be fixed because the systems just don't work well together. And so really work on something that can actually work well with each other. Next up, also integration over features. This is a big thing that just really should matter. Again, this kind of goes off that foundation first. And so when you're choosing specific tools, if you have a specific, say, 2 very, very similar apps that do basically the same thing, you want to choose the one that's going to integrate better with your systems, even if it's slightly less features, just because then it really does benefit you by putting in the less work for your team and for the clientele as well. So it's better to have B systems or B- systems outperform, those disconnected A+ systems out there. That's just the sad reality of today. And then always realize that any system you put into place will have at least 1 to 3 months of effort just per system, just to set it up properly and to actually start using it in your agency at the minimum. Depending on your agency and depending on the timeline, it's at least 1 to 3 months. Sometimes it could take 6 months to be able to utilize it to its full capabilities. So budget not only your resources and your cash that you're going to be spending on it, but also the time that you're going to be spending on it. So prioritize those effectively as well. And last but not least, your data quality is literally everything. I see so often that agents just allow their staff members just to put in the most horrible ways of putting in data into their systems. And when they do that, basically your ability to integrate goes kaput. Your ability to actually utilize things and be able to maximize the capabilities of your system, not only just to benefit you, but to also benefit the clients that you're working with, also goes down. So really make sure that you clean up your data and you help out your agency, because without that data quality, really your capabilities are like in half just from that alone. So again, you're going to go over that ROI reality check, right? And time. Speaking in time, because obviously there could be different costs per system that you choose. 1 to 2 months, you're probably going to have that learning curve cost, and it's going to be actually painful to put on any system. But as long as you continue to push in that 1 to 2 months, by month 3, I've seen a ton of time improvement, and a lot of agents just loving it after they hit month 3, being like, wow, this sucked the first month, but it's finally hitting us and it's finally working. And then by month 6, after you're fully utilizing it and the team's fully utilizing the system and they're used to it, they're going to start to see time savings out the ass. And then by month 12, you're completely operationally transformed, because once that you open up that door to be able to use one system and change out your systems, it also opens up the door for, once your team gets used to the system at like month 3 to month 6, to implement another system and another one and another one. So it really does transform your agency more than you actually think. All right, so look, we need to pay bills to help bring this content out for agents and to help more agents out there. So if you want to build something out for your systems, click the link below and book a call with RevBox. We're here to help you at any time, whether you're a small agency or a big agency. We can do small projects or build out your entire revenue acceleration engine inside your agency. We can definitely help out. And just to help out even a little bit more, I've created a complete tech stack integration blueprint with every tool I mentioned here, exact pricing, integration requirements, and step-by-step implementation guides. Download it for free if you're using the link below in the description. And if you're an agency trying to grow and you want more content on how to grow this property and casualty agency, subscribe, and subscribe to my newsletter as well. We release new videos every single week covering the systems and strategies that are working in 2025 and continuing from there. So thank you so much for your time, and I would love to hear, what will you implement first? Put that comment down below as well. Are you going to be doing that CRM systems, automation systems, complete integration? Where are you at? Are you on the foundation? Are you at the secondary? Are you at the tertiary? What does that look like inside your agency? Love to hear more. Thanks so much.